love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out.
Hello, Miami. Thank you so much for watching 305 Sports Now. I am your host, Will. And I know I've been gone, guys. I took a little bit of a hiatus, just because I need a little bit of a break. But I am back and I'm ready to give you some information. But it has been a while since I've done some Dolphins coverage. So I'm really happy to report that the Miami Dolphins did win on Monday night, defeating the New York Jets, the hated New York Jets, by a score of 27-21. It wasn't the prettiest game, if you look at the stat sheet altogether, but the Dolphins did play pretty well, okay? Because the Dolphins were outgained by the Jets in virtually every category, with the exception of where it counts big time, and that is the turnover margin. The New York Jets had 3 turnovers, 3 fumbles to be exact, to a very important 0 for the Miami Dolphins. But overall, the Miami Dolphins had 300 total yards in the game. The Jets had 404 yards. The Dolphins had 123 yards rushing, while the Jets had 197. So that's pretty much it. But what's important in here is the box score. As we look at Tua Tagovailoa, 17 of 25, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a 114 quarterback rating. Justin Fields, 27 dropbacks, 20 receptions, 226 yards, 1 touchdown, and QBR of 111. Running the football, Achan was all over the place, man. 20 carries, 99 yards with 1 touchdown. Caught the ball quite a bit too as well. Justin Fields had 7 carries, 81 yards. It was a monster one towards the end of the game, where he basically scrambled for his life and scored a touchdown on that one. And Breece Hall, 14 carries for 81 yards in the game. But the story, aside from Tyreek Hill, which we'll get into him later on in the show, which had a pretty good game. He had 6 catches of 67 yards, probably would have had a 10-catch game with over 100 yards, maybe even gotten in the end zone if it wasn't for his very horrific injury in the third quarter. But the man I want to talk about is Darren Waller. Darren Waller, who's been out of football for a couple seasons, was really impressive with his 3 catches, 27 yards, and 2 touchdowns, has become a very, very, very viable threat for Tua Tagovailoa and Mike McDaniel in the Miami offense. And the guy who balled on defense, Jordan Brooks, with 18 tackles in the game. I almost forgot, Garrett Wilson had 6 catches for 82 yards, including a very nice touchdown catch. I will not in single coverage in the fourth quarter with defender draped all over him, so I gotta give him credit. But the Dolphins overall offensively looked pretty good. Okay, they looked pretty good. McDaniel called a very good game. McDaniel gets a lot of crap for his very questionable play calling. But I thought Monday night he did a very good job of mixing, some short passing games with running the football. Only criticism I have is that I felt like he overused Achan quite a bit. I think we should have seen more of Ollie Gordon in the game, and I think we'll see more of it moving forward as we continue. Before I get into Tyreek Hill, though, and the whole situation of what I think the Dolphins need to do, I will like us to hear from our sponsor, Fan Outfitters, the official sponsor of 305 Sports Now. Ooh, Miami. I am proud to announce that Fan Outfitters is the official sponsor of 305 Sports Now. With locations in Pembroke Pines, Davie, and Kendall, you can find the latest gear and accessories for all your favorite South Florida teams. Teams like your Miami Hurricanes, your Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Inter Miami, Miami Marlins, and many, many more. So if you ever find yourself in the Pembroke Pines area, Davie, or Kendall, please stop by Fan Outfitters, the official sponsor of 305 Sports Now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, yes, again, if you're ever in the Kendall area, Davie area, or Pembroke Pines area, please visit Fan Outfitters. They have amazing gear for your Miami Dolphins, Miami Hurricanes, Florida Panthers, Miami Heat, Miami Marlins, and many, many, many more teams as well. So check out Fan Outfitters, 3 locations, Pembroke Pines, Davie, and Kendall. So now I want to speak about what is on everybody's mind, and the fact that it's been official and Tyreek Hill is out for the season. Hill dislocated his knee in a very gruesome injury, in which it was listed that he had multiple ligaments torn, which also included his ACL, which means he is out for the season. Now, the one thing about Hill, he had been playing well in these last few games. And I'm not gonna lie to him. I'm gonna praise him a lot, but I do recognize that on other shows and so on, I did say the Dolphins should entertain trading Tyreek Hill because he's become too much of a locker room distraction, including especially what happened last season with him basically quitting on his team. But he's really shown, in my opinion, that he wants to be a really good teammate, including pretty much in the pregame being a part of a huddle, trying to motivate his team as well. His reaction after his injury of clapping and basically cheering to the crowd and so on shows that that he has an admiration for the Miami fan base as well. He enjoys interacting with the crowd. The guy works hard. The guy plays hard on the field, and he was showing it during this game. He's been showing it throughout the season as well. So it's a shame that this had to happen for Tyreek. It's very unfortunate, and I wish him a very, very speedy recovery. Prayers up to him because he loves football. Whatever you want to say about Tyreek does love the game, and he does work hard on the field, and he's really been killing it this year when he's given opportunity. So that's all I really have to say about that. But the bottom line is, though, the Miami Dolphins are in a major pickle right now because although they did defeat the Jets, and I do think that they will defeat the Carolina Panthers this upcoming Sunday to go 2-3 so far in the season. Mind you, the Dolphins could easily be 2-2, right? They could have easily been 2-2. They would have taken care of business against the Patriots, losing in a heartbreaker on week 2. But the bottom line is that what I really want to go, I'm sorry, week 3. What I really want to go over is what I think is going to have to happen for the Dolphins moving forward. For starters, losing Tyreek is going to be very hard on this team because this team really does expect explosive plays. However, the way Tyreek had been used is the fact that his skill set, he's also very good at catching the ball, and he's a very good route runner. So he's able to get open without necessarily going deep. One of the biggest knocks on Tua Tagovailoa is the fact that he does have a very, very lack of arm strength. That's always been an issue for Tua. And like I've said, the book's out on Tua and Mike McDaniel, meaning that if you play cover 2 and you play pretty deep and you don't let the receivers get by you, Tua's not going to be able to overextend, the pass and be able to deliver the football with accuracy. He's mainly going to underthrow his receiver, and his receiver is going to have to be pretty much playing a batted ball game with defensive backs. We saw it in the Buffalo game during one of the events when he threw the football and it was up in the air, and Tyreek wasn't able to come down with the football. But if it would have been another quarterback with a deeper arm, Tyreek might have blown by the safety, despite the cover 2 that they were playing over there in Buffalo. So the bottom line is what I'm trying to get at is that the Dolphins are going to have to adjust to the fact that they don't have Tyreek, and they also don't have they're probably going to not have as many big plays, okay? Which they've been lacking regardless, but it's going to limit it this time around. Waddle has to be the guy, okay? This is Waddle's time. Waddle has been a number 2 to Tyreek. The time of basically being a 2 to 3 catch guy per game, that is over. Jalen's going to need a lot more targets, and Jalen's going to have to get in the 8 to 10 catch range during these games because he's going to be the one to move the chains. And if there's going to be an explosive play, it's going to have to be through Jalen Waddle. Okay, Jalen Waddle is going to have to be that guy. Jalen has the speed of a number 1 receiver. He is very reliable like a number 1 receiver. He has good hands like a number 1 receiver as well. So it's time for us to see what Jalen Waddle could really do now that he doesn't have his partner on the other side of the field. So he's going to take up more of the double teams. We know that. He's going to get everybody's best cornerback now. We know that. Let's see what happens as the season progresses without Tyreek. But I do think what we saw last night with the Jets is going to be mostly the Miami Dolphin offense moving forward. It's going to be a lot of trying to run the football. I really do hope that they don't constantly run Achane up the gut against the teeth of every single defense they face. That is not Achane's game. Achane's game is going outside and catching the football from his quarterback, making a guy miss, and going for big plays. That's Achane's game. Basically being your bell cow, that is not what Devon is. Okay, if you're going to do that with Devon as the season progresses, Devon's not going to make it. All right. Okay, so that's something I think that coach needs to think about. I personally think the Miami Dolphins need to use more of Ollie Gordon. I think Ollie Gordon is going to play a big time role in this offense. Look, they got Ollie Gordon to be the physical back. They got to get you the 3rd and 2s, the 4th and 1s, the short yardages, be able to get more yards after contact. That's what Ollie Gordon is here for. And I think we're going to have to see more of that as the season progresses. So that's where I'm at, okay? That's where I'm at with the Miami Dolphins as far as needing Ollie Gordon to get more touches. He's going to be a very good relief for Achan, and he's going to be pretty much be Tua's best friend because he's going to be able to get a lot of very tough yards, tough grinding yards, which could lead to better situations on third down for the Dolphins where they can use some play action, roll Tua out, be able to hit the tight end, be able to hit, one of the receivers as well, or even hit the tailback as well for a first down. So that's where we want to go with. Miami's offense is really based on motion, which gets them in a lot of trouble sometimes with illegal procedures. I will say this, though. I like what I saw last night with the way they used motion. I like the way they used the tight end in motion as well. And Darren Waller showed that he still has game. And I think that he's going to be very critical in the role that Jonnu Smith gave us last year. I think that's going to have to be Waller. All right. Getting those tough yards down the middle of the field, moving the chains, getting those yak yards after contact, being the guy in the red zone. That's going to be very, very important for Waller. Use him in motion. He's a mismatch for any linebacker, and we saw how dangerous he could be in the back of the end zone because of his height, his vertical ability, and his athleticism. So that's pretty much what I think needs to happen with the Dolphins. I want to focus on the offense because that's where the biggest blow came with the loss of basically your number one receiver, Tyreek Hill. And I think the Miami Dolphins are going to have to make these adjustments as the season progresses if they want to make a playoff run. And let's be honest, if Mike McDaniel wants to save his job. So for the life of me, I really do hope that Achan does not become the total bell cow where they're running him up the gut all the time and he gets way too many touches between the tackles because that's going to wear him down. That is not his game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you heard, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to 305 Sports. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will be going on live Thursday evening with Q of the I Hate Football podcast for our segment, Our Take. It's FSU Hate Week. We talk about Florida State, comparing both teams, and hopefully getting a Miami Hurricane victory at Doak this upcoming Saturday night. We'll also be joined with special guest Adrian Rainey of the Rainy Day podcast. And one announcement also I want to make is that after the FSU Miami game, no matter what happens, I will be announcing and introducing the new logo. Yes, the new logo of 305 Sports. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you heard, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. God bless you guys. Go Fins and go Canes as well. Bye-bye, everybody.